Hey everybody, it's Eyes-Dysell Swans with Everybody's Writing a Book, Let Me Tell My Fucking Story. Yes, I want to read another one. I just read one to y'all, but I want to read another one because I'm supposed to be doing this twice a week, but I haven't. This is one of the ones I had to edit too. Chapter 50, Junior High School 22, The Belt Buckle Punishments. Crazy. This one not just the belt buckle. She came and she beat me with an extension cord too. This was on another incident. I didn't write that one in here, but it was two in this one school. And the first one was the belt buckle because I wrote Miss Lewis was a wiggy bitch on a what you call it. And the other one she came to school is when we jumped the girl Lila in school. We jumped her, me and my friends, we jumped her. And I think we was gonna go to jail or something like that. I'm not too sure. I was a teenager. I think we jumped the girl and the police got involved. Marion came down to the school. She was mad about that. But yeah, she came down. She was mad about that. She came down. Yeah, that was bad. But I want to read this one right here. I remember once my junior high school teacher Miss Lewis made a phone call to Marion stating I was acting out in school. I've always remembered hearing Marion inform us that we go to school to get an education and I should never go to school and be a clown. Marion made it known if we were ever to embarrass her at the white people's school, that's what she used to call it, the white people's school. If she ever got the call, she would beat us in front of the entire school. These threats never happened in all my years of school, but I had changed and started acting rebellious with teachers, being a class clown, being a smart mouth young lady. And at that age, I was ready to fight back anybody that meant the teacher, peer, bully, or in any authority figure. Marion surprised me and came down to Junior High School 22 on 167th Street and College Avenue. As I didn't know, she would really come. And when I tell you, she came blazing with an extension cord wrapped around her hands. This was a belt buckle. This was a strap. So she came on two different occasions. Just like them stories is in my head, right? I remember because those are the pivotal stories. Mary called me out the class and confronted me about calling my teacher, Miss Lewis, a wiggy bitch. This teacher was an elder. As Marion would say, we shall not disrespect our elders. Mary confronted me. I quickly denied ever calling her the name, and that would be lying in Marion's face. Marion came to the school with a vengeance and executed her plan. Marion was not alone. She had my fake sister, Georgina West. I put her name in a book because, bitch, I owe you a beating. No, I'm just joking. I'm not that person no more. Not, I'm not that person, but I want to have a conversation with her. Like, I ain't get to have a conversation with my other sibling because he deaded me early on. Like, oh, I'm not supporting you in the book, or because he felt like I wrote something in the book. I'm gonna put that out there too. He felt I wrote something in my book about my abuser. She was my abuser. She abused me. Like, it was nothing that she abused me. Again, you can't narrate my story, nigga. It's just what it is. You can't. But I want to finish this. With Georgina West, with her. Mary started out in a little conversation with the teacher and then I was called out the classroom. When I told you all the negative emotions took over my body, my classmates were taunting me as I walked a slow walk to that door and out into the hallway. Mary was ready and had that extension cord cocked and ready. Some of the classroom doors were open on that side of the hallway, and I turned my back towards the classroom with the door open, so my classmates couldn't see my face. As I showed fear of Marion then reached inside her pocketbook and started swinging. Mary had the leather part wrapped around her belt. So she had the belt part wrapped around her. I had to go back and do that. Remember I told you I wrote this book almost 23 years ago, and I just put it out there. Only thing I did was, please charge it to my heart. Y'all know what the story is. I was abused. I was really abused. Okay. I told you I edited this. I went back and edited. I showed fear. Mary reached inside her pocketbook and started swinging. Mary had the leather part wrapped around her hand with the belt buckle toward me, swinging it with force, aggression, and rage. So what happened was she beat me with the belt and the belt buckle side in the school, but when I got home, she beat me with the extension cord. But it's not when I got home, because when I got home, I stayed quiet in a little part in the house. I was quiet by under some clothes, and I was hiding up until the night. I went and used the bathroom, and Gigi, that bitch, Georgiana, she saw me and was like, oh, man. She called Marion. Marion came out, and that's when Marion beat me with the extension cord. Yeah, that's what happened. Whew. Marion beat me until I was able to get away. Gigi held me so I could get beat. That bitch was going to get it soon as I saw her back at the house. Marion's main objective was to beat me, to deplete me as a human. It was the only way she knew how to discipline me with violence. I screamed and hollered and jumped around as if bugs was crawling all over me. As I brought attention to myself and the surrounding classroom screaming for help, the faculty staff finally came out to find out about the noise. I was front and center getting beat for dear life and trying to get away. No one helped, no teachers, principals, coaches, or friends. I grabbed the belt buckle several times to stop the sting and from more open wounds on my body. However, my fake sister Gigi held me and shouted, don't fight it, take it like a woman. How dare the bitch? Yeah. I was screaming how I hope they died and made my attempt. I was screaming how I hope they died, and I made my attempt to get away. I finally broke free and ran down those back stairs, taking 2 steps at a time. It seemed like an eternity until I reached my destination. Yo, I'll never forget that day. I ran 2. Back then, that's how we used to go up the steps, 2 at a time or 3 at a time. Sometimes we used to jump down the whole staircase, but, you know, that's what we did back then. I couldn't do that now. I'll probably break a bone in my body. But I remember running down them steps, boom, 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 getting up and going out that back door and hightailing it back to my abuser. I goes back to our house. I'm going to always say this, right? Because I didn't know how to sleep out in the street. Like, sleeping out in the street wasn't my thing. Like, I knew I had some people that would just be out in the, I didn't know. Mary's house was clean. At the end of the day, she was vile, surly, all of those, the devil, everything, right? And she taught me to be that way too. But she kept a clean house. She kept a clean house. And I remember sleeping in that basement that time. I don't ever want to live like that, ever. It seemed like an eternity until I reached my destination. I can remember at the moment the stinging from the belt buckle that pierced my skin, opening up new and old wounds as I ran like I was a freed slave. I reference this because Roots, it shouldn't be my favorite movie, but that's one of my favorite movies of all times, Roots. Like, because that's how I was getting beat. Shit you not. Like, I could put $1 million on it. That's how Mary was beating us. Like, we were slaves from Roots. Like, real shit. She was beating us like that. Like, boom, boom, beating pipes, bricks, anything she can get her hand on. She beat us with it. Damn, that's crazy, right? My destination was back home to my abuser. Back to my slave quarters at Marion's. Ain't that some shit? That's some shit for your ass. For me, for my ass. I goes back to the house. I could have ran anywhere in the world and just sat there and just stayed there and lived on the streets. But I ain't know nothing about living on the streets. Everybody, all my peoples, they had homes. They had parents, mothers and fathers, right? I didn't know where to run. I didn't know where to run. I run back home to my abuser. And saying that, I ran back home to my abuser. I went back to my abuser again, too. when I was in a domestic situation as well. So I was taught, you got to take it. You got to keep going back to take it. And that's what I did. I went back and I took it over and over and over again. Ain't that crazy? Wow. You couldn't even imagine the thoughts running wild in my head. The first time all my school associates see me get physically abused, I wanted to run away and die. I did. I even asked God to kill me for the umpteenth time. I asked, man, I asked God to kill me so many times. I don't know if anybody ever felt that way. I asked God to kill me over 1 million times. It had to have been over 1 million times. Yeah. So I did not have to return to the school. I would have to run somewhere safe, but I had no safe place to go. I returned right back to Marion. I ran back to my controlling slave master. I sat down in the closet hiding with the clothes piled on top of me. I knew for sure she would be back to the house soon. I decided to get something to eat because I was staying in the closet until I felt safe to show my face again. I remained inside the closet all day and into the night, only coming out to use the bathroom and returning back into the closet. Marion and Gigi had returned later on that afternoon and called out my name. I didn't respond or breathe. Gigi continued to call out for me and even started looking for me in the house. What a fucking bitch, I thought to myself. I played possum and was quieter than a mouse. We had the side of, it was 2A, 2M, right? So 2M was, we had an apartment, the doors, so we were right behind, next to the elevator. So the apartment, when she first got into that apartment, she was a squatter. She had them break the wall in for us so we could have more room, because we couldn't just, 2A just had 1 bedroom and a kitchen, a bathroom, and a living room. Now, 2M had the same thing, but they had to break that wall in. So we moved into 2A, 2M. And 2M side, we had it blocked off with the it was the lock with the crowbar. She beat us with that shit too. That shit hurt. The crowbar was like a lock. You just put it in and it came like out, extended out. And it was on the ground and it locked into place in a lock part. So nobody can come into that apartment. It was really hard to get in. It was like a fire exit. So I was in there and that was like the overage room with clothes. We had bags of clothes just thrown in there. I was up under that. It was just like a junk. It was like a small little space, like a 1x1 or 2x2, nothing big. And, I was in there, quiet in the mouse, didn't say shit, right? Marion figured I haven't returned home yet, but I had to get myself together. I was alone, afraid, scared, and felt like God would help me at least this time, since he hadn't answered me 1 million times before. I told y'all, I asked God to kill me, help me out of my situations. He never came through for me. And he's a he or a female, which one, right? Imagine bleeding out from your body and your abuser wanted to finish the job after you got away from them. That was the position I was in at that moment back at home. I wish Marion dead so many times and also planned her murder in my head as well. Marion, I did. I wanted to go back to, man, I planned her, I to this day, if I can bring her back and take her out and just go do some time, I would. Sorry I felt that way. It's just what I felt. I felt that way. Like, she deserved how I feel. If I could ever relive that with her, a different light, and I make it out to be an adult, I don't know how I would relive that story. Right? I wish Marion dead so many times. I also planned to murder in my head as well. Marion did have a hold on me and I couldn't shake her. I finally came out the closet that night after using the bathroom and everybody was asleep, as I thought, but Gigi was still up and outed me to Marion. That night, and your God is my witness, It was part 2 of the slave beating that night. This time I was beaten with extension cords, searing on my beautiful brown skin like steak on a charcoal grill. Yeah. I was so exhausted from the slave beating in one day, I passed out in between the apartment doors and lay lifeless. I did. I was like, well, let me play dead. Like, but I just felt exhausted. Like, I was so exhausted from the belt buckle beating in school, the trauma, the stress, then running home, that adrenaline, hiding, the fear. I feared her, just laying in the closet, like, just laying there like, I'm going to just lay there. And then I come out to use the bathroom, sneaking, tiptoeing like a mouse, and get busted by that bitch, Georgiana West. She outed me, and damn, that's crazy. She outed me. I passed out between apartment doors and lay lifeless. I was hoping it would be my last lash from Marion, and she called me every name in the book of negatives. Marion yelled, I better get my black ass up, but I ignored her and waited for her final words. Now get your ass to bed. I heard that a lot of times after I got beat. Now get your ass to bed. Get your ass to bed. Get your ass to bed. That was another thing she repeated all the time. Every beating, go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. It could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Go to bed. Go to bed. I had to go to bed after each beating. You beat me and you want me to go to bed. But bed was a safe place too. And this is why I say this all the time. When I come home and I get in my bed, yo, my bed, I love my bed. Like, my bed it's like a safe. I don't know if anybody else feel that way about their bed, but only reason why I feel that way about my bed now is because she used to make me go to bed. And bed was like safe and comfortable. My covers, I can cover up, put the pillow over my head, and at least it felt like protection. And just getting in my bed, it just felt like protection. That's how I felt. My bed is my safe place. I don't play around in my bed. My bed is my life, right? Damn. I'm relating a lot of things to back then to now because some of the stuff is relatable. You better get your ass in the bed. I played like I didn't hear her, and she said it again with a threat that if you don't get up, I'm going to beat you again. It's always that too. Move! If I don't get moving fast enough, get over. And that's how I started to really think. I found all the little last bit of strength in me to gather my soul and body off the floor and scatter to my bed. I laid awake the entire night until morning, anticipating getting beat again when she saw my face that morning. But no, Marion didn't beat me. She made threats and humiliated me with words and would throw elbows and slaps to the face. She had a way of not wanting others to know she was an abusive person, but she was getting sloppy and doing more and more in the open and around others. I for sure thought the school would have called the police to my home. The school never called the authorities for charges of child abuse. It never happened. Marion won again. She was undefeated. She was undefeated. The bitch was undefeated. Marion had many victories in my life, all sad situations, nothing happy for me. I remember Marion gave my sibling a party when we were younger. Hold on for a minute. Okay. Mary had many victories in my life, all sad situations, nothing happy for me. I remember Mary gave my sibling a party when we were younger. I thought how nice of her to give my sibling a party. As long as we have been under her household, she has never given me a birthday party before in any of our lives. And that is why I don't celebrate birthdays. It's just another day. I think the last couple, like 6 years, 7 years, I started no, let me not say that. I had my first birthday party down here in Georgia, like my first birthday party, and I invited people. And I don't want to be transparent. I was scared that day. Yo, I was scared on my own birthday, the party I gave for myself. That was, no, I had two parties down here. This guy had owned a club. He's from New York. He had got a little small club down here. I wanted to have like a little gathering. Everybody came out for my job. Everybody. That's words. My people from my job started being people that I like family, right? They all came out because I was like one of those trendsetters, like, right? And this first party, I was afraid, but nobody knew it. I was afraid of my own party. I never had parties. I never had a birthday. Nobody never, I can't even remember somebody said happy birthday to me. Like, honestly, like, my mind is warped. Just charge it to my head, not my heart, because my mind, like, I don't remember anything geared towards importance. Like, I don't know if that's not even a word of importance. I don't remember anything like, and my birthday was very important to have a birthday. So again, I had that party down here, and then I had another gathering like the next year. I wanted to be small because that one was big. Like, everybody came out, you know, and I was afraid of my own party. I was happy my peoples came out, but I was afraid. Then I had the second party, and I was like, all my peoples came. I got so drunk. I got drunk the first 30 minutes, and I had to go. I had to leave. My peoples took me home. He took me home, and he hung out with me the whole night or whatever. I was throwing up, all of that. Yeah, I'll never forget that. And then I really, I'm like, it just wasn't for me. I think I was very overstimulated, and I wanted it so bad. Like, everybody, like, it's my birthday, I'm gonna have a birthday. On my birthday, you know what I do on my birthdays? I go get body massages, and I go out to an expensive restaurant and treat myself to food. That's the only two things I do, and I relax. And I sing myself happy birthday on the internet. And that's just recently. Like, that makes me feel whole. Like, right. I'm going to just go and finish reading this passage, this chapter. Right. As long as I have been under Marian's household, she has never given me a birthday party before in any of our lives. And that is why I don't celebrate birthdays. It's just another day. On his birthday, my sibling invited friends from the neighborhood to attend. He had almost an entire building there to celebrate him. Marian had made my sibling a chocolate cake, which I never liked because that was her favorite cake to make. I never liked chocolate cake. Never. I never liked chocolate ice cream, nothing. And this is why I say I'm learning to unlearn stuff. I just recently started eating chocolate ice cream and dibbling like chocolate brownies. I was traumatized. I'm in my 50s, and I really just started, like, I feel so good. Like, I'm trying new stuff and doing new stuff. I'm not feeling stagnant, like I gotta be stuck in the past, right? Because I was, and I was silent about it, right? I had to start changing the way I think, I eat, what I put on my skin, who I engage with. I had to really start thinking about that and unlearning like the old stuff and new stuff, right? They tell you, you have to change every day. You get up, you have to change, right? You get a choice to make a new change in life, right? And every day I'm learning something new. And again, chocolate cake, chocolate ice cream. I didn't like it. That was Marian's favorite. Didn't like it. And I'm going to tell you what she did one time. She would make chocolate cake without the sugar in it and make us eat it. Yeah, she would make us eat it. But when she made the cake for herself, it had sugar in it. Ain't that some shit? I never liked chocolate just for this reason. But Marian always made chocolate cake, usually without any sugar for us. Marian was a great cook and baker. Now, that's one thing she had discipline in, was in the kitchen, not people. She knew how to cook. She knew how to cook that old nasty food that I don't even eat. I don't eat none of that shit that she used to cook. I don't eat chitlins. I don't eat pig feet. I don't eat nothing from the pig. I don't eat nothing from the pig. You hear me? I do not fuck with nothing from the pig. I don't even, like, you can't, like, why? Why? You want to eat something that shits on the floor and eat part of its body. I don't eat chicken no more. I don't eat beef. I don't eat none of that stuff she used to make. Nothing. I stopped eating collard greens for a long time, but I fuck with them. I eat them from time to time. I didn't like okra for mad years, but I started learning. I started learning okra and tomatoes. It used to be slimy, but now I eat it. I like this. Like, I just didn't like. It used to make me gag. I didn't like oatmeal. I still don't eat oatmeal. Oatmeal was a abuse thing with her. She used to make us eat it without sugar and butter. I didn't like the taste. It had like a vomity taste to it. It looked like vomit. And over the years, I vomited from crying so much. I would vomit. And certain things just didn't sit right with me. And oatmeal was one of them. What else? Chocolate cake, chocolate ice cream, collard greens, pig, nothing of the pig. I don't put none of that disease in my body no more. I've been stopped that though. When I got away from her like a teenager, nope. We was in school one time. I always tell the story how me and my friends, we were trying to go be Muslim, 5% of Earths. And we was in a school and we was eating a sandwich. We thought it was turkey sandwich and it was ham. And I was a teen. I wasn't even a teenager now. I was still underage. I was like 11, 12. Nope. Yep. I was like 10, 11. It was like summer youth. It wasn't even school. It was summer youth. And we was eating the sandwich. And I'm like, yo, hold up. This is pork. And I was eating. I'm like, we ain't supposed to be eating pork. We was like, don't say nothing to Precious Jewel. That was my people's sister. She was molding us into being Earths. I'll never forget that. Those are fun times, right? But yeah, I don't eat that shit. I don't put that stuff in my body. Pig, beef, none of that. I don't eat steak. I don't eat that. Now, my sibling know how to make a mean steak. Like, I used to eat. Now, I used to fuck that up if she made it. Like, that was one of the things she made that was really good. Like, but that was years ago. I ain't putting none of that in my body. But anyway, we talking about marrying. All right, that's one thing. After the birthday party, everyone left and we had to clean up the house, which was something we did religiously. Anyways, it was clean after we cleaned. It was clean after we already cleaned, again, to the satisfaction of her. Apparently, it wasn't good enough for Marion. Guess what we had to do? Clean it over. That's right. Everything had to be super clean. Counters, floors, stove, etc. We cleaned some nights into the early mornings, tired from standing, hands raw from running the water. Marion would come check again, and this time it was to her satisfaction. And you know what's so funny? My eldest, he was around for a lot of this shit, and he never said nothing. He never said, nah, don't hit my sister, brother. Don't do it. Nope. I'm healed now. I think I'm healed now. I can sit back and just like, you dirty dog. Like, you did, and I forgave you. What made you not open your mouth and help us? Like, I was scared. Like, I feared my life. Like, I called upon your God 1,000,001 times, like 1,000,002 times, 3 times, and you never helped me. You never said, Marion, don't beat them. Like crazy. Just standing in the corner, like on your knees, or being on your knees. Yo, my knees, like, your knees on rice, raw rice on the corners for hours on your knees. Or she was crazy with the punishment. Your hands out, standing up without moving, or on your knees. However she felt like Imagine keeping your arms up like this for hours at a time. We talking about hours. We talking about sometimes it used to make us be on our arms out like for a day. 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. She was ruthless. He never stopped that shit. Right? We had punishments where Marion would make us kneel on our knees and roll rice. I just said that. And salt for hours at a time. If I'm correct, we had to kneel on our knees one time all through the night. We would have to go straight to school from being on our knees all night. That was talking about sleep deprived. Baby. My knees would be raw after hours of kneeling in rice and salt. These had to be corporal and slave punishment, I guarantee. Other punishments were more inhumane, where she would place our hands over the fire for telling her lies that were really the truth or just because she wanted to put our hands on a fire. If I can recall, the majority of our cruel slave beatings and punishments were from when Marion was super pissy drunk, or she was super broke and didn't have enough money to purchase liquor once she came down off her liquor high. Right? Crazy. Marion placed my hands over the fire numerous times as a little girl. And when I say numerous, hey Siri, what is a number for numerous? I don't even think Siri will tell me. Like, what is numerous? And I say that with let me see what I know what numerous, the definition of numerous. And you know, I got a lot of definitions in my book too, but I want to get the definition of numerous. I know I'm reading this right, but it's no amount of what you call it, numerous, right? Let's see, definition, adjective, great in number, many. He has attended numerous meetings and social events. Similar, many, a lot of, consistent of many members. The orchestra and chorus were numerous. This is what I was just asking y'all. How many does numerous mean? Very many, being or existent in great quantity. Numerous visits, numerous fish, consistent of or comprising a great number of units or individuals. Recent audiences have been more numerous. So that means an abundance, right? So abundance of time she put my hands on the fire. Marks, I'ma always show my marks. They here. They ain't never gonna go away. Them burn marks, they used to go into like little filled sacks with little water in it, but it was the healing stuff, right? Burn sacks. They the blisters. That's what I had on my hands, and I used to go to school with them on my hands, and I used to have to bust them, because she used to make me bust them, because they used to grow nice in size. Bust them. Go wash your hands. Put your hands under some hot water. I'm going to take a break and come back.